Hey guys, this is the YouTube version of my show. I don't love the idea of even putting it out like this, but I'm going to use YouTube to stay in touch with you guys from now on. That means this version is missing all the stories about coronavirus, insurrection, your Second Amendment rights, and more. All of these, of course, are usually my most honest, brutal, and important stories. Anyway, you can get the entire unfiltered and uncensored show for free by going to thecomicsgym.com or nickdip.com. It's still free on both of these sites, too. And if you want extra content each day, join at patreon.com or thecomicsgym.com for the daily Encore show. Also, while you're on these sites, please make a contribution to keep this show free and check out my tour dates. I'll be in Phoenix, Raleigh, New York, and Texas in the up-and-coming months. Remember, you guys keep thinking it, I'll keep saying it, and please enjoy, and please share today's episode. Talk to you soon. Sanka. Remember that? Remember Sanka? If you're in your late 70s. Dallas, do you remember Sanka?
Yep.
You do?
Nope.
Oh, I thought it was a yope. Can you imagine Dallas is too young? Hey, have you been on camera yet?
I think on my birthday.
Come over. Come on. Does he look like he's too young to know what Sanka is? Look at him all tanned up and shit. There he is, Quint. Can you picture him in Afghanistan? I can. He used to, I don't know what that means.
Low ready.
What?
Low
Oh,
ready.
you got the, low ready. My wife does that when she helps in a sec. Every
Or is
time.
that your cock always in that position?
Yeah,
low
that's
ready?
right. No, Christ, no. What are you kidding me? I fucking mainline Viagra. Every time a wife blows me, she sounds like a mobster about to be assassinated. Just not in the face. And then there was the other time I was having sex with a black girl, and I said, who's your daddy? She said, I have no idea. Next thing she knows, she pulls out a 23andMe. As I'm fucking her, sure enough, George Washington. Not the president, a wide receiver for the Texans. All right, let's get to the... one more other thing. I forgot to tell you when I came back from Dallas, Fort Worth. The second night in Fort Worth, there was a guy up front staring at me. He had dark glasses on, inside. So I started going, what the fuck, dude? You there? What are you, cool within the room? Blah, blah, blah. And I zinged him about 4 times. I go back to fucking do my, and he's still sitting there with his arms folded. I go, you're inside. Take off the fucking glass. His wife goes, he's blind. This is after me ripping him for like 10 minutes. I go, you fucking tell me now? But if you think I could be mature about it, so I go up to him. I'm pretending I'm humping his face. He's like, and I'm going like this. I'm going like, how fucking immature. Can you read sign language? No, you can't do that either. She let me fucking... And it reminded me of my second year in comedy. I was at Stitch's Comedy Club on a Saturday night, brand new to the business. Started to make a little bit of a name in Boston. I'm in the middle of my act, and the guy goes, 8. And I just ignore it. I wasn't sure I heard him yell out 8. And then I go back, I do another couple minutes, I hear him go, 12. And I go, did you just yell out 12? I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm counting the times you say fuck. I go, well, here comes 13. Go fuck yourself. That's when I knew I had it. George McDonald was like, you got him. Counting the times I say fuck. You imagine. Get the fuck out of the car.
Rain Man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, instead of throwing a bunch of straws on the ground, he can watch me do an hour. No, it would be hard. It would be harder for Rain Man to count cards. I mean, it would be easier for him to count cards and count my fucks. I do it say way too much. I don't rely on. I just say it. I always try to explain this. DiPaolo's kind of dirty. No, I'm not. I have a dirty mouth. I don't do blowjob, pussy eating jokes. I mean, everybody has a little chunk here and there. If you're lucky, you know what I'm saying? Anyhow, I don't know why that came to me. I was laying in bed last night. I forgot. I didn't tell anybody when I came up in Fort Worth. That's how jaded I am. Shit that goes on. All right. What else? I made, you guys know what beef Wellington is? I made salmon Wellington last night. What? Yes. My wife had bought a couple pieces of salmon. I still had some puff pastry left over. Listen how gay this show's turning into. And next up, egg salad recipes from Dallas. So I Google puff pastry salmon recipe. Sure enough, I don't know if you know what beef Wellington. It's just a beautiful piece of meat with puff pastry around it. So this was the same thing with fucking salmon. I scored it crisscross. You know what I mean? Put it in the oven so it looked like it had diamonds. I am a half a I can cook. My wife went nuts. You painted one side of the salmon with melted butter, lemon zest, and Dijon mustard. And you put it face down, and on the other side, you saute spinach and garlic and olive oil and put that on. And then roll the dough. I mean, I like salmon. It's a little rich for me, but it's really good for you, even though it goes through me. I can't handle that. I don't know why. I can't handle that oil. It was fucking delicious. I'll never make salmon any other way. I'm telling you, folks, if this comedy thing doesn't work out, which I'm pretty sure it's not, I'll be working at Arby's as the sous chef. Let's get right to it. Whacky Psaki bawls her eyes out. Is that how that's how you spelled balls, right? Didn't I put not that I'm just saying. What? No, I just pictured her with fucking balls on her eyes. Anyway, she cried like a bitch. White House press secretary, and again, I've said this to you people a million times. One of the Democrats' favorite move is to attach kids to every issue. Pelosi does it more than anybody in history. I'd like to do a compilation tape. It will be like cum shots. What about the kids? The kid. What about the kid? I don't care what they're talking about. Building a bridge. Killing people in Ukraine. What about the kid? They'll bring it anything. They'll always attach it to the children. And anyways, White House press secretary Jen Psaki broke down during a podcast interview why don't we get her on here so I can tell her what a fucking Bowser. Look at her, the little fucking Mama Luke. The little Mama Luke. Jenny, I got your number. Something about her. Anyways, she cried during a podcast interview while condemning a series of, here we go, anti-LGBTQ bill. Do you really think in this day and age anybody, Republican, fucking right-wing Klansman, would try to pass something that actually everybody would say is anti-LGBT? Do you see what I'm saying? And there's half this country, you fucks who vote Democrat, fall for it. Anti-LGBTQ bills moving through the State House as harsh and cruel. Ugh.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
In an interview on the News Not Noise podcast, that's funny because she cried, which is released Tuesday, host Jessica Yellen, crying and yelling, yelling and crying, asked Psaki about the legislation across the country. How do you make sense of what's happening? Yellen asked. Is this sort of a predictable backlash to change? This is the one you guys on the right just aren't ready for change. We're ready for good change. You know what I'm saying? No. Are we ready for a woman to go, hey, I don't have a dick, but I want to be a guy today? No, nobody's ready for that, you fuck. Do you understand me yelling? I'm yelling at you. Is this sort of a predictable backlash to change as she served up a fastball down the middle for Psaki? Could that be any softer a question? How about opening with this? Did you always have the dirty freckles on your ass? Or is it this organized political attempt to create a wedge issue? Look, she's answering the question before she even... I guarantee Psaki handed her this. Excuse me. To create a wedge issue ahead of the midterms in the 2024 campaign. Sort of like the way gay marriage was weaponized in 2004. Oh, was it? Excuse me. You mean the same way gay marriage in California? I think it was Prop 180 or something. Do you remember? The people voted against gay marriage as being legalized. Remember that? And they just ignored the people. Why do you bring that up before I stick my gay cock in your gay ass? What kind of talk is that, Nick? What are you, a child? Yes. Yes. So it makes this show at least a little interesting. Hey, where's Rachel Maddow, by the way? Haven't seen that fucking clam lapper. What is she doing? Took a sabbatical. She's in Taiwan molesting a 12-year-old boy. I mean, girl. Did I say boy? Anyway, she got all upset. Let's listen.
This is a political wedge issue and an attempt
wedge
to
salad?
win a culture war. And they're doing that in a way that is harsh and cruel to a community of kids, especially. I'm like going to get I'm going to get emotional about this issue because it's horrible. But you know, it's like kids who are bullied, and it's like all these leaders are taking steps to hurt them and hurt their lives and hurt their families. And you look at some of these laws.
This is mental illness you're listening to. This is mental illness. She's getting right to the core of what Democrats have been winning on for the last 30 years. The people who are bullied are running the world now. They can't let it go. It was always in Hollywood. Even when I was 20 years old, I'd always go, why is the fucking kid in the leather jacket always the asshole? There's no nerdy ass. You know what I mean? It goes back to, they can't let go. They're traumatized by their past. Now they're trying to let her, go ahead.
These states, and it is going after parents who are in loving relationships, who have kids. It's completely outrageous. Sorry, this is an issue that makes me completely crazy, but it is an issue that is a political wedge issue. It is not a reflection of where the country is.
Cry like a bitch.
What did you say, Tony?
Cry like a bitch.
Look at the little carrot all upset. Ay, ay, ay. Jeez. I don't know. I get kind of turned on with her crying because I always see her as she's a cold fish. I mean, dead inside. So kind of turn me on. I'll say, I'm sorry. I'm watching too much of Evil Lives Here. God damn, is that a good show? Guess what? I've watched 5 in a row now. They didn't mention white Christians. There's actually 2 black shows in there. But I skip over those. I'm tired of black violence. That's nothing evil. That's normal. Nick, don't even. I was kidding. Tremendous. Even they're better at serial killing than us. According to a Washington Post count, nearly 200 bills aiming to eliminate protection. Folks, I'm reading you an article, must have been from a left-wing source, aiming to eliminate protections for transgender engaged. No, it's not. No, it's not. We're trying to protect kids from your fucking crazy ideology. Gay children have been filed protected gay children have been filed across the country this year by Republican lawmakers. Do you fucking believe any of that? I don't. What did I do? I missed the whole fucking thing. Anyway, roughly 75 of the bills propose limitations on class discussions or library books, including, most notably, Florida's legislation, which has been panned by critics. Really? It panned by the critics? It's funny because it's polling very well across the country. Even Democrats in Florida like it. So suck a bag of shit, you lying popsicle. Don't say gay bill, they call it. Fuck you. That's that. Anyways, do you see how it's all about language? It's anti-gay. It's attacking children, parents who are just. They don't get it. They don't get it. They do, but they don't. Again, I'll ask this question. Why is that the hill they die on? Fucking transgender, gay. Do us another way, man. But that ain't going to work. Because I know you don't believe it, Jen, but only about 8% of the world population is gay. Maybe. That's not counting the ones they throw off the roof in Tehran. That's not nice. You can knock the wind out of them. Let's stay on my favorite redhead, Lucille Ball. Psaki slandered border agents. As you remember, back in, last summer, the migrants were coming across the river, and we had the border agents, and they had reins, and they accused them of, you remember the whole fucking, Peter Ducey, our boy Peter, so funny watching this guy grow up. He's like turning into his old man. Peter Ducey calls out Psaki and her jerk-off boss, meaning Biden, on statements, you can tell I wrote this article, statements they made regarding border agents on horseback who were wrongly accused of whipping dirty illegals crossing the border. Let's refresh your memory. Here's Ducey taking on Chuckles the Clown.
We've been told that the mounted Border Patrol officers the president accused of whipping migrants have been notified they will not face criminal charges. So when is the president going to apologize to them?
There is a process and an investigation that's gone through the Department of Homeland Security. I don't have any update on that.
The president said that they were whipping people, which would be a criminal offense, and they've been told they're not going to be criminally charged.
And there was an investigation into that, and I'll let the Department of Homeland Security announce any conclusion of that investigation.
You accuse these officers of brutal and inappropriate measures. Now that they've been told they will not be criminally charged, will you apologize?
And Peter, there was an investigation into their behavior, so that investigation is playing out. Whenever it's going to be announced, the Department of Homeland Security will announce that, and I'm sure we'll have a comment on it after that.
Now to somebody that can throw me a softball question. Oh, my God. That was the equivalent of I can't comment. This investigation still going on. It's got nothing to do with it. They've already been cleared of those charges. So you were wrong, and you dumb cocksucker boss and everybody that watches CNN, and you have the bully pulpit. Apologize on behalf of your boss and you. You don't need an investigation. What's slimy, filthy? I'm trying to like you, Jen. Everybody thinks you're ghoulish looking. I don't know. Half a bottle of wild turkey, I might fucking bite your neck. Right in half and kick your head into a dumpster. I learned that on the Evil Lives Here. I hate to pick on my girlfriend.
You get that little red beaver right up there in front of you. I don't think it's crazy at all.
How was this show not the most popular thing on the internet?
You can't handle the truth.
Exactly right. They don't admit it. They won't. Joe Biden's the same way. They don't admit when they're fucking wrong. Ever.
Proves that you wealthy college boys don't have the education enough to admit when you're wrong.
Chief. Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen. Too many captains on this island. Anyhow, let's move on from enough of the Jenny. I've got your number. Hey guys, I'm back on the road again like Willie Nelson. 2 weeks from now. Jesus, am I? I absolutely hate the travel part of this job, as you know, but I love being in front of you guys and gals and everything in between, performing stand-up and magic and unicycle tricks. For those of you in the Northeast, my old stomping grounds where you're being porked up the ass with property taxes and violence, and I'll be at one of my favorite haunts, and this is no bullshit, Governor's Comedy Club on Long Island. It's in Levittown on May 6th, Friday, one show, and I haven't been there forever, and Long Island is so goddamn good to me. Hey, I wonder if we can get that. No, he's out in L.A., that Chris Guardino, my singer friend. Anyways, it's one of my favorite gigs. A guy named James runs it. You should, he looks like he's right out of a 50s mob. It's the only guy that stand in front of a comedy club with like a $3,000 suit on and diamond ring. I always come up and I go, Don Cheech. I kiss him on both. And then him and his wife order Chinese food. It's a fucking, and the Long Island people, because there's a pocket of real right wingers there, and anyways. And then the next night at the Paramount in Peekskill, New York, on May 7th, this is Saturday night. And then, oh, good, is that it? I'm not renting a fucking car, Tommy. You better come get me. Then I'm back down here in the South 2 weeks later. Jesus Christ, I am at the Comedy Cabana in Myrtle Beach, which I had a ball at. And it's right on Myrtle Beach, May 20th and 21st. The club was awesome last time, and I'm really looking forward to that one. There was everybody had a Harley Davidson fucking vest on or missing a tooth and tattoos, and those were just the chicks. Good night, everybody. Where's my rim shot? Then in September, I'm back in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, picking up trash along the highway for something I did in high school. Other dates will be announced next week, too, so keep checking back. All tickets to my shows are available by going to nickdip.com, clicking on the tour button. That's nickdip.com. Click on that tour button, yo. Let's go on to a guy who's trying to make a difference, but like I said, I'm so cynical, I don't know who to believe anymore. Ron DeSantis, what did he do? He took a big dump on the Philly mayor yesterday. A well-deserved one. Excuse me, that slipped out. That was that Salmon Wellington. Nickname for a snatch. Listen, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is running a... Oh, my God, I got a cocaine problem. A little drip. DeSantis is running a new online ad attacking Philly Mayor Jim Kenney for reinstating the city's indoor after he was pictured in Florida.
You fucking hypocrite.
Exactly. Look at that stupid face on. Who does he look like? God damn it, he looks like... there's some actor that's kind of famous. The lockdown libs, this is DeSantis talking, are back on the road for another nationwide tour. DeSantis campaign tweeted. Mr. Kenney, a Democrat, traveled to Florida in May 2021 and was photographed at an outdoor restaurant table. The city's for indoor public places, including schools and daycares, went back into effect on Monday.
You want to call it by its name? That's strictly for...
That is just a power-hungry jerk-off. Kids can't get it. Unfucking real. You could have a 90-year-old obese Chinese guy spit in a kid's mouth and won't even... And I'll pay $25 to see that in a booth. Mr. DeSantis, a Republican who is running for a second term and may be eyeing the 2024 presidential run, has repeatedly bashed Democrat lawmakers for imposing or supporting and then traveling to Florida, his state, and shedding their like their skin because they're filthy snakes. No Floridian will be restricted, mandated, or locked down in any possible way, Mr. DeSantis tells a cheering crowd in the ad. Mr. DeSantis leads by double digits the two Democrats vying for their party's nomination. Rep. Charlie Crist, he used to be a Republican, by the way, and Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried. Well, yeah, you got the fucking chops to be anything, agriculture. Go back and pick an artichoke. The list of DeSantis labeled lockdown politicians who have appeared in Florida includes, you guys remember these, they all got busted. Democrats, AOC Cortez of New York.
You fucking whore.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. Go home. Get my dinner ready.
And, of course, our buddy who farted on the air, remember on MSNBC Live, fucking shithead Swalwell, there he is. Looking, lady, just... Come on, man. Come on, man. They are such... Do you guys get it, though? Do you understand they're the ruling class? They're the elites telling you, the masses, the unwashed, filthy people, they have a disdain for you. They have more respect for the fucking garbage. Not all garbage, by the way. Some people come pouring over the border that want the right thing. But little they realize in 10 years, they're going to head back to their place. Your politicians pretending to represent you despise you. Donald Trump's the only one. And even if he's faking it, he does a great job. Which he doesn't. I think he, I don't know. I'm going to run next week, so I'm putting my name on the ballot with a red Sharpie. I told you somebody voted for me in Minneapolis like 10 years ago. They took a picture of it while they were in the booth. Guess what? I came in second. It's It's a capitalist country, folks. Just enjoy it, will you? I'll tell you who's really going to enjoy it. Huh? MLB, for you gay people, that's Major League Baseball. Nick, what does that mean? You saying gay people? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Sandy Koufax was the only gay guy that ever played. Maybe DiMaggio. People, there's a theory about DiMaggio. You know how gay guys always love Marilyn Monroe shit and they dress impeccably? That was DiMaggio. There's a rumor out there, but fucking 354, whatever. Unless he's using his cock as a bat and aiming at his... Anyways, Nick, get on with it. Stop with your horse shit. Okay. Headline, MLB money grubbing whoas. The San Diego Padres, they caved in first, huh? San Diego, who would have guessed? The fucking guy that made $1 million don't they have a chicken? San Diego chicken? That was their mascot. San Diego Padres are pitching Motorola. Motorola's still around. My Uncle Al, my father's brother, has been dead for probably 10 years. That was his nickname, Moat. And we never understood why, me and my brothers and sisters growing up, until some guy explained it to me. He used to sell Motorola TVs out of the back of his car. They called him Big Moat. Anyways, I got stories about him throwing bricks at people's heads and shit. The San Diego Padres are pitching Motorola phones to their fans, becoming the first MLB team to strike a deal to feature ads on its uniforms.
Don't say a fucking word to me. I'll get up and I'll bury this telephone in your head.
That's how I feel. Padres players will wear Motorola logo patches. Oh my God. It's not enough they're on the fences and shit, and now you can do the on TV they do the virtual, which is kind of cool. I'm watching a hockey game, the Bruins are like in St. Louis and it says TD Bank, and I'm like, oh yeah. I don't like it on the uniforms. There's always been ads. People get mad like there's ads on the hockey. If you watch old baseball clips like Brooklyn Dodger, there's signs, this shit all over the wall. But this, can you already? It's going to look like a NASCAR, these guys. Number 43, tampon. Padres players wear Motorola logo patches on their sleeves and a dill pickle jar over their head instead of a batting helmet. And will be the first team to reach such a deal after the league announced it would allow teams to sell patch ads on uniforms and sticker ads on helmets.
I despise it with every fiber of my being.
Oh, God. It's bad enough. If you listen to baseball now, even in hockey, the Bruins, when they have the Ford 150 Final Five, last 5 minutes of the game, it's sponsored by Ford 150 or whatever. And the Yankees, when I lived in New York and you watch the Yankees, every guy that came to the plate, it's like, who was the Japanese guy that played right field? Hideki Matsui? Matsui, right? Literally, he'd come to the plate, this brought to you by, chopsticks and fucking dog feet. Yeah. Somebody steals a base, brought to you by, I'm not kidding you. They'd steal a base and they'd do an ad for, protecting your information online and shit. It was, Phil Mushnick wrote a whole article about it. It's fucking insane. It started with relief pitches back in the 70s. You know who jumped on it? You remember Rolaids you take it's still around, for antacid? And their thing was for fast relief. They jumped on it. They had the Rolaids pitcher of the year, a relief pitcher of the year. I think Goose Gossage won it. So that sort of triggered it. Maybe before that, I don't know. The Padres will have the ads placed on the right sleeves of left-handed hitters. Let me demonstrate that for you. Well, I'm backwards here. Well, forget it. It's complicated when you're doing it this way. But, if this is your lead arm, here you go. The patch will be right here. Right under somebody who died. Right? On the right sleeve, and for left-handers and pitchers, vice versa, for right-handed players, allowing for more prominent display on TV. Oh, my God. Why don't you just have a tattoo, Toyota? We are thrilled to partner with a quintessential, and listen to the bullshit line they use, because they know we're all seeing right through this for the money grab that it is. Listen how partner with a quintessential and innovative brand like Motorola to bring cutting-edge technology, design, and performance to Petco Park, said Padres CEO Eric Grupner in a statement. Motorola's iconic logo on our jersey is a perfect alignment with our Padres brand. How do you figure? And we look forward to teaming up to provide a great experience for our fans.
It seems foolish to have all this money lying around.
Oh, you'd rather have it down at the bank where the Jewish guys can leer at it?
Oh. Oh, no. Plenty of wasps involved. Matter of fact, the commission's Italian. Don't start with that shit. The deal was made possible by the MLB amending a section of its rules that prohibited uniforms from including designs related to commercial ads. An amendment. Why don't you just say they ripped it out for the money? An amendment announced in March 10th memo. A club may license, this is how it reads, to a third-party commercial sponsors the right to place their name, logos, and/or marks on the uniform, provided that the patch or designs is approved in advance. Why would they turn it down? By the Office of the Commissioner after consultation with the Players Association. The proposal reads, oh, for God's sake. That's what it's going to look like. Looks like a NASCAR. Why would they turn it down? What are they going to go, no? That one's too crude, a tampon ad. Then they'll go, yeah, but they want to give us $7 million. Okay, get it on the helmet, put it on his cleats. Unbelievable. Again, it's what's bad and what's great about our country. That's all I can say. Uniform ad deals are set to begin in 2023. Oh, great. Boy, you see how that goes right through? They've been working on a pitch clock for about 10 years, right? But you see when it comes to putting money in there, ding, ding. Uniform ad deals set to begin 2023, with the MLB still considering whether to begin sticker helmet ads during the 2022 post. Oh my God, we're not even gonna have to wait till next year. This is priceless, is it not? It's gonna be interesting. A guy gets beamed in the head right off. Look at right off the spam ad. I don't know, folks. I don't know what I'm saying. Hey, thanks to all of you monthly subscribers who answered the call yesterday. We messaged you all and asked you to leave the show a voicemail and tell us who specifically you're going to vote for this fall. Oh, that's why. In your local race, and why we should know about them. Brilliant question. Like we're not going to fucking know the answer to that, Tommy. I'm not Shepard Smith up here. This guy clearly missed that part. So the one call we got, he didn't even talk about what we wanted him to do. Can we abandon this whole thing? This guy clearly missed the part, but that's okay. We're going to play his message anyway because he's a listener from Alaska, by the way, and I'm never going to tour there. Jamie Lissau, who's a very funny comedian, I think I'm saying his name right. He's on Gutfeld all the time. He's the only comic I think that he lives in Alaska. God help us. But here's the call we got.
Hey, Nikki, it's Joe Wooden, a monthly subscriber from Anchorage, Alaska. And I'm voting from the local to the presidential races for all of the conservative Republicans because the conservatives are the party of common sense. And the libs, they're fucking queers! Keep being funny, brother. I love you. Keep up the good fight. Talk to you later.
Could you tell he had a cold? It's Alaska. It kicked up into the teens, I think, in June.
I was stationed for my first 3 years in the Army.
Oh, my God. God bless you, Dallas. My sister and her husband lived in Fairbanks, I think.
Fairbanks is even worse.
I think it was Fairbanks. He worked for Exxon or some shit. I don't know. He sounded like he had a fucking cold. What did I want to say to him about? Oh, he's voting up and down the line, which is cute. He's still voting after that last federal presidential election. He's still good for you, buddy. Somebody has to do it. I can't promise I'm gonna, because I don't believe any of this shit. The more I watch the news, I don't believe any of these district attorneys. I don't believe these these mayors. The Klan predicted all this stuff, by the way. My late great buddy, I told you, Greg, the cop, went undercover, and he had to go to undercover to white supremacists, and they predicted all the shit. You know, the Klansmen were they're going to have they blamed a certain ethnicity, but they're going to have black police commissioners, black judges, blah, 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 blah. My buddy said he was laughing his balls off because at that point, they didn't think that would ever happen, and here we are. All right, so vote, please do. I'd be afraid to live in a state where you go down for coffee in the morning and there's two moose in line in front of you. Right?
That's not far from the truth.
I know. My sister used to send pictures. She's out shopping in downtown Fair, and there's a moose coming down the sidewalk. How can you shoot a moose?
I saw a moose actually waiting at a crosswalk for the actual go sign to turn green, and I'm not even bullshitting.
I believe you. There's a little moose thing on the... how can you shoot a moose? Me and Ted, of course, Ted Nugent feels otherwise. How the fuck...
they're dangerous, though, man.
Well, yeah, you're dangerous if you go up and tickle their nuts. So am I. You're a guy who couldn't hit a moose. I could hit one with a softball from 300 yards. Anyways, thanks, thank Joe for the voicemail. For the rest of you monthly subscribers on Patreon and the Comics Gym, leave me a message tonight, and we'll play one on tomorrow's show. To subscribe, go to thecomicsgym.com or patreon.com. What else would you like me to do to entice you to sign up monthly? I've been working on my ass.
There are white niggers. I've seen a lot of white niggers in my time.
Watch your mouth there, Mr. Moran. What a bird. What's the headline? Black Bully. This is in our RTR segment, Reverse the Racist segment tonight. A former assistant principal is suing a Virginia school board claiming that she was forced out of her job for a slip of the tongue during a mandatory anti-racism training based on critical race theory. Let me translate that for you. To be shamed and humiliated because you're a white person working at that school on the staff. Emily Mace, who was the assistant principal at Agnor Hurt Elementary School, accused the school district in a lawsuit filed Thursday of pushing her out in the fall 2021 after she mistakenly used the word colored people as she railed against the training session. Okay? You've heard my take on this. People of color refer to themselves as people of color. So why would colored people be wrong? Because it was used back in the day? This is more what I call linguistic bullying from the left. Fuck you. Though Mays apologized for the slip of the tongue, that's not enough. Teacher's aide, who is black, verbally attacked her in front of all training attendees, the lawsuit filed in Albemarle County claims. So, just obviously they hate white people at that school, the staff, and... Kill your white people! That was a song at the prom they played. Imagine, let's reverse it. Let's fucking reverse it. School board's all white, person's black. Is there any condition where they would ask a black, whatever she is, to leave the school because of a slip of the tongue? No. A black, what is she, a teacher? What, I don't even fucking know. A black teacher could say, I didn't mean to say motherfucking cracker. And there'd be nothing. There'd be nothing. She'd get promoted. So it's a double standard. I'm sick of pointing out, but I do anyway. The aide accused her, the black aide accused her of speaking like old racists. What did I tell you? This is what, we are rotting the fabric. It's all, every turn. Yesterday I did stories about, right? Remember that in Arizona, those two people, that was their job to look for racial animus. It's making it worse. You're exacerbating the situation. The aide accused her of speaking like old racists who told people of color to go to the back of the bus, the complaint says. Oh, my God.
These blanks.
I know it.
Who knows what they're going to take the wrong way?
Following that training, Mace said that multiple colleagues told her that the teacher's aide and her friends were openly calling her vulgar names at work, including that white racist bitch and that two-faced racist bitch. Mace complained to the principal that the harassment was causing her substantial emotional distress, preventing her from focusing on her job and making it impossible for her to effectively manage the employees involved in the harassment. But the principal, I'm guessing the principal's black, I don't think, the principal refused to take any action to address her concerns. Doesn't necessarily have to be black, now that I think about it, could be a white progressive, the complaint says. Anyways, it's just, I can't take it.
You fat, nasty black bitch.
May submitted her resignation on, here's a woman trying to do good, help kids, and fuck you. You know what? Tax 8. On August 29th, she left her job. She left her job on September 10th after being forced to apologize. See, it's not enough just to can her. Forced to apologize. You got to do the perp walk. I almost wish I was working in education or had a 9-to-5 job. I would have fucking lost my shit. I would be homeless by now. Forced to apologize to her colleagues in what her lawyers described as ritual shaming. This is where we are, folks. Let me remind people, black people out there, not all of you, obviously I live in Savannah, I love it, 60% black. You people, black people and white people that back shit like this up, what you're doing is ruining white people's lives who had nothing to do with what you keep pointing to in the past, slavery and how it set you back, Okay? She had nothing to do with it. I had nothing to do. The people you're taking it out on, and I'm talking to white people in power, Democrats mostly. I mean, if you're a black person, you probably go for the ride. What the fuck? But just remember that. I don't know who I'm talking to. They're all my fans. Could you pass that to your friends? Your black friends, every one of you? All three of them? On information and belief from beginning to end, the apology meeting this is the lawyer talking, was carefully orchestrated by district officials, to humiliate, shame, and traumatize Miss Mays for an accidental slip of the tongue in order to make an example of her and to communicate to other district employees the type of punishment that would occur if anyone dared question the new reigning anti-racist orthodoxy. And then he got a little crazy.
I don't know what you're smiling at, watermelon.
You know, now she has to go. Which is racist at its core, the filing says. Instead of training faculty members to embrace students of all races, Albemarle County school officials are using a curriculum that promotes racial discrimination. Kate Anderson, director of the ADF Center for Parental Rights, said that in a prepared statement. She said, the training sets up a classic catch-22. It encourages all staff members to speak their truth, but when a white person like Emily raises concerns about the divisive content, she is deemed a racist in need of further anti-racism instruction. I knew right away she was on the right side because she's pretty. Honest to God, if you put that up earlier, it was a lefty, horns, mustache. And she's exactly right. And you know what's encouraging? That now it's being pointed out. She said, if she was, if you're white, blah, blah, blah. They don't even say that. Even on Fox News, they can't say, they don't go black. They can't say black people. You know what I mean? Until we get to that point, I cringe. I cringe when they do race stories, whether it's, on CNN or Fox, because you're not coming anywhere near the truth. There is no issue where the gap is bigger as far as what's said in public as opposed to what's said in private. There's no other than Ray. It's fucking ridiculous. That's enough for today, folks. My nipples are stinging. It's Wednesday already. Holy moly. This is creepy, isn't it, Dallas? Is that fucking creepy? Tomorrow's Thursday? God, I love it. Anyhow, don't forget to sign up. Please, talk some of your friends into it. TheComicsGym.com, Patreon.com, NickDip.com. You can buy merchandise there. Click the store button. You can click the tour button, see where I'm going to be. I told you already. And don't forget Cameo.com. If you want me to roast a friend or relative, go to Cameo.com. tell me about the person. I will make a minute and a half video on my phone where we really zing them. Or I can say happy birthday to the late, great Aunt Betty, who took her own life on the toilet. All right. After watching fucking Jerry Springer for 20 years. That is it. You guys think it? I will say it. You are very welcome. We will see you back here for the final day of the week tomorrow. Have a good day.